Have you ever had that check engine light come on in your car and you knew you needed to take care of it? A week went by, 2 weeks went by, and then going into the third week, now you're hearing all kinds of noises, and then that fourth week, the car just shuts down. Has it ever happened to you? Have you ever had the check engine light come in on your body where you felt that pain, you knew something was wrong, something wasn't quite right, or that nudging pinch on your side, and you chalked it up, oh, it's just probably gas. You took an aspirin or Tylenol, and you said, I just need to get some rest. And 2-3 months down the road, you find yourself in ER needing emergency surgery. Has it ever happened to you? Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Death by delay. All right, so welcome. We're going to talk about that tonight. Welcome to Tuesday Tea Time and Insurance Tips. I'm Sybil Green Padilla. I'm your host here every Tuesday night, bringing you fabulous insurance tips, insurance solutions. I'm a licensed agent. My brand is Green Insurance Solution. My agency, I'm a broker. I'm here to serve you, okay, in whatever way you need. So welcome to Tea Time. Thank you so much for coming. Get your tea. Let's talk. Okay, so let's talk about that. Death by delay. What is death by delay? Okay, death by delay, and we all know death is a type of ending. Okay, death means the ending of life. The ending, when we look at the batteries dead, there's no more life in it. Okay, so death by delay. Okay, and financial death. That's death because we have delayed so much that now we're having to pay more money. Okay, let's take a look at that first scenario I gave you about the check engine light. Okay, that could have been a little bitty thing going to take it in once that light came on. Could have been an easy fix. I don't know, I'm not a mechanic, but it could have been an easy fix once that light comes on. But because of delay, that D word, we're going to talk about those two D's, delay and death. But because of delay, now you have incurred more and more cost. Okay. Now, because the car is down, you got to get you got to get it towed into the mechanic shop. Of course, that may be hundreds and even thousands of dollars to get it fixed, depending on the problem, right? So now you're out of a car. And we're in the great resignation time now where, there's not a lot of employees. Employers are finding it hard to get employees to work. So there's lots of delays. Okay, so probably there's not enough workers there. They're behind and they, have a long waiting list. So probably maybe a month before you can get your car back. Well, you got to get to work. So now you got to find a rent-a-car. Now you might say, no problem, Sybil. I have insurance. My insurance takes care of rental car for me. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you having that. However, sometimes rental cars, sometimes the insurance doesn't cover the whole cost. Usually maybe $30 or $40 a day, whereas your standard rental car may be $60 a day. So you might have to put a little bit more toward that. If you don't have that on your coverage, you might have to pay for Uber every day. Okay. However, just making my point that you will incur more charges because you have delayed, okay? So delaying is costing you more, guys. So with the fact of those two scenarios that I've given, now you got more co-pays. You have to pay for the hospital stay now that you're in the hospital now. I know my mom was in the hospital, about a couple of years ago or a few years back. I think she stayed 4 or 5 days and she got a $10,000 bill, guys. So you might say, well, it's okay. We have insurance, but insurance never covers 100% of your bill. Okay. Insurance usually covers 80% or so you have to come up usually with the other 20%, which 20% of $10,000, what is about $2,000. Okay. But you got co-pays on that, and you have co-insurance. So it's a lot of different fees. You got lab costs, doctor's costs. So it's a lot of different fees that you're going to pay because you have delayed. All right. So that's what we're talking about. So I want to encourage you. I want to pull on your heartstring to not make it harder on yourself. don't delay. I've talked to several people that really do want to get insurance. However, because of their delay, they are not able to afford it. Okay, so now the insurance is too expensive for them. They're in their 60s, 70s, they're retired, they're only getting $1,000 a month. So they're like, how can I get this insurance? It's just too expensive. And I have to agree, but that's just that's how the ball rolls with insurance. The insurance companies go by a mortality table. Of course, the older you are, the more it's going to cost because, of course, you're getting closer to death. They're getting closer to paying off that claim. And we know that's not always true all the time. We don't die as we get older. Young people die too. But that's how the insurance company grades it or manages what your premiums are going to be. The older you are, the more expensive they are because they're looking at you're closer to dying. They're closer to paying out that claim. So no way around that. But what's the solution? I'm big on finding the solutions. Okay, so we've already owned that we have delayed. Okay, looking for insurance at 70, 80, that's not really good because, of course, it's going to be more. But let's put that aside and let's talk about the solution. Okay, how can you get some insurance that's affordable at an old age? Okay, so I had actually 2 or 3, I always bring these tea times based on clients that I've actually have talking with. These are live things that I've gone through with clients. So I've actually had a couple this week that decided not to even get any insurance. They were saying just what I'm saying. They had delayed. He was 79. He had delayed, getting this. Actually, he said he had it on his job. And then when he left his job, he never did get any other insurance. He had it on his job and that was it. So now he's 79. He's calling in because he's wanting some insurance, right? So now he's older. He has a plethora of medicine he's taking. He's on, he has some health issues and challenges. Now, we were able to get him some coverage. I was able to get him some coverage, but it was, I would say, about a car note. So he was like, that's crazy. I'm not going to pay that kind of money for insurance. And it was just a little small policy, maybe about $20,000. And it was, a couple of $100. Okay, which is very expensive. Yeah, I know. But you got to own it, guys. If you wait and you delay, just like with a car and with your health, you just got to know you own that. I've waited long, so I'm going to bite the bullet and take care of this. Okay, and that's what you got to do with insurance. Okay, no condemnation, but you need it and you got to take care of it. So I told him what it was and I said, listen, $200 or whatever that was, that is a lot of money. He only got $1,000 a month. So that is a lot when he's got to pay rent and all of that. So what do you do? So I told him, I said, look, sir, let's look at your budget. I love doing that. I do retirement plans and I love doing treasure hunts with my clients with the budget and finding the money. We call it finding the money. It's like treasure hunting. So we look, taking a look at his budget and seeing, maybe you can give up a latte that you get every morning. Now, he didn't get lattes, but just a thought here. If you get lattes every morning, $3 to $5, what about once a week or once a month? I know we gave up cable at our house. That was $200 a month on cable. I know people have cable and don't have insurance. Now, no condemnation again, no judgment here, but what's important to you is important to you. But I want you to know this will affect your family, the people that you say you love. So you have to do what you got to do to make this happen. Now, I have $2 a day, $3 a day, $4 a day month premiums that you can get. Now that's a day, so that ends up about $50, $60, $70 a month that you can get, even with health conditions. So not to be afraid to reach out to myself. If not me, there's licensed professionals out there all around. If you need some help, I'll be happy to help you. All my information will be down in the information box there for you to reach out to me. But you can get something. Now, he actually was upset and he said, I don't want anything. If I can't get, $50,000 or $100,000. My kids need more than that. I need to give them more than that. And I said, I know they do. God bless them. But, Mr. Customer, you can't afford $200. So if you can't afford that, why don't you get something? Because 20,000, or I'm sorry, 10,000, the 20,000 was actually 200. I said, why don't you look at 15, or we can look at 10 or even 5. I said, Mr. Customer, something is always better than nothing. I promise you guys, I'm big on that. You might can't afford the policy you want, but you can afford the policy you can afford. Okay, so not to walk away from the table. If you needed a car and you went to the car dealership, you really want a Mercedes, well, you can't afford the Mercedes. Are you just going to leave the car lot because you can't get the Mercedes? No, you would get the car that you can afford, which would be a Pinto or, Sonata like I have. You can afford that. You can always come back and upgrade later. You could always add another policy later, but don't just leave and not get anything. So he ended up not getting anything, which is unfortunate for his family. When death comes, they will have no money because he decided that he couldn't afford anything. And something is better than nothing. I used to work at a funeral home. Funeral homes are more apt to work with families if they have at least some money, an insurance policy, okay? If you don't have enough, they will usually work a payment plan with you for you to pay off the rest, or for the family to pay off the rest. But you leaving them nothing, they come in there just totally dead broke, is not going to be good, because the funeral homes feels like they're higher risk. They won't pay them. So usually they won't work with them. So you want to make sure that you don't have to put your family through that embarrassment, okay? And have something, even 5,000 is going to be so very helpful. And life stories here, I have to tell you this, life stories. I have life stories all the time, things that happen. This was at the funeral home, had a family. Lady came in, young girl, mom just passed. Mom required that her daughter give her a burial. Well, she had no insurance. So she had these big bubble tears in her eyes. I was crying with her. And she said, I have to do this because my mom will come back and haunt me. Awful story. That girl was traumatized because she didn't have any money. She said, I can't cremate her. She said she didn't want a cremation. She wanted a burial. And if I cremated her, she would come back to haunt me. She had no insurance. So we were trying to work with her to get at least $3,000 to get that cremation going. And she was traumatized because she really felt her mom was going to come back and haunt her. So guys, don't do that to your kids. That was an awful story. She was able to go and borrow from family members. I don't know if she did a GoFundMe, but she did come back and she had that money. I was a family service counselor at that time. So I can just tell you stories on top of stories about people that have delayed and have put the burden on their family, and it's awful. And you don't have to delay it. And not to put fear around it, because you can get insurance, even with health conditions. So talk to me. There's a company that I have that will insure everything except for AIDS. You can't be in prison, can't be in a nursing home, you can't be in hospice, okay? But you can have everything, anything else, and they will approve you, okay? And the rates are pretty reasonable. So give me a call. We'll talk about it. If not me, find somebody, okay? But thank you for joining me tonight. I hope that information was helpful. Please make sure, if you find the content that I'm leaving here is valuable for you, please please subscribe. There's a little button by it, which is a notification button that you can hit to get notifications when I upload a new video, which I'm here every week. So thank you for joining me for Tuesday Tea Time and Insurance Tips. This is Sybil Green Padilla. Let's take our sip, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.